Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the Art Holistic Healer, aka Sonia B. So, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to say I hope you guys are starting your morning off well. Today is very refreshing and cleansing. It's raining outside, although it would be nice to hear the crackling and thunderstorm and all that other stuff. I really enjoy that sound. Anyway, so with all that being said, let me get right into the message. So, just keep in mind that your day is what you make it. If you let things tire you down and keep you feeling like you got a heavy load on you, that's how your day is going to be. Okay, I choose not to live my life like that. I got things that I need to do, and I'm going to get some work in when I'm done doing this video. So, but I'm just, again, your life is what you make it. So, with all that being said, let me get right into the message. Just remember, keep in mind, these energies that are coming through here, they're actually a little wild in a sense. So, I'm just here to give you the 411 of what was given to me, to make you mindful of the energies that are coming through. So that way it prepares you so you know how to better handle the situation if you are presented with it, if the message resonates with you. So, with all that being said, yes, keep in mind, this could be happening at this present moment, could be happening within a week or two, or just within the next couple of weeks or so. So just keep that in mind and just be mindful of it. Anyway, so let's start off. And actually 3 messages came through last night. And these energies are just a little wild. Let me just say that. So here we go. The first message that I received was, it had something to do with like your neighbors. If you're dealing with a situation where you have, like, let's just say your neighbors are some way, some shape or form seem like they're trying to breach boundaries and not respect boundaries and stuff that you're putting up. And sometimes this may not be from a physical standpoint. This could be from a spiritual standpoint, meaning, like, let's just say if you go to sleep and then you're dreaming and it's a situation pertaining to your neighbors or whatever, if you guys receive those type of messages. But anyway, so let me just explain to you. It has a lot to do with your neighbors. So if you're someone who's dealing with issue with your neighbors, this message is obviously for you. Everybody's situation is going to come in a different shape or form. The message is going to be the same, but it's just going to be different scenarios for each and every one of you. So what I had saw in the dream was, it was as if myself and my kids had actually had left the house. We had left the house and we came back to the house. And for some particular reason, it drew my attention to the wall. And I looked at the wall and I saw like there was like a little hole in the wall, as if maybe the neighbors was trying to, as if maybe the neighbors was trying to drill a hole through the wall, or somehow dig into the wall and try to spiritually see what it was that I was doing. And there was nothing to see that I was doing. It's just that they was just being nosy is what I got, because I knew that I wasn't doing it. I wasn't even at home. It's just that I saw a hole in the wall once I came back home, and it was as if they had kind of dug the little hole in the wall. But anyway, with all that being said, once I saw the hole in the wall, the first thing I did was, I don't know if you guys know, like, the tape that you use when you're painting, the blue or green tape or frog tape, whatever you want to call it, the tape that you use. So I saw myself, I took a piece of blue tape and I layered it in 2 layers, and I remember slapping it on the wall as a way to say, no, you're not welcome in here. I did not give you permission to be here, in a sense. Like, I didn't see their energies. It was as if they dug the hole in the wall. I didn't see them come through the wall. I just saw them. If this is just making sense to you, I know it's going to sound off the wall, but you just have to understand from a spiritual point of view. It was just as if somebody was trying to pry in on your personal boundaries, but I wouldn't allow that, because me taping up the wall was symbolism of me not allowing them to come in a sense, was protecting my space, my boundaries. But anyway, so that was a situation that I had resolved very quickly. I took the tape and I stuck it on the wall, and that was my way of trying to keep them out. Okay, so, and what I had gotten from that was, some of you may be dealing with situations where you have a neighbor that just doesn't respect boundaries, as well as you probably feel yourself maybe not resonating with them anymore. At one point in time, you probably felt yourself resonating with them, and you tried to coexist with them. And again, I know the Bible tells us that we should love our neighbors. I'm not telling you to have any hate, any animosity, or be upset with your neighbors. No, but there's something that you can do. You can wish your neighbors love and light and release them and let them go. And that's just some things that people can do. So as long as you're not coming from a place like, oh my God, I can't stand them, don't do that, because that energy will come right back to you. Okay, karma has no address, or excuse me, karma has your address, and the last thing you want is for the energy to come back to you. So if there's anything, if you have an issue with someone, just wish them well and love and light, and allow them to just let them go. You're not obligated to anyone. You're not obligated to, especially if boundaries are being breached. If boundaries are being breached, yeah, Spirit just bringing to my attention is like, if boundaries are being breached, that's, and if that's not, and if you know that that's going against someone's free will and you haven't given them permission to come into your space, then why are you trying to, what's the word? Why are you trying to people please? Why are you trying to people please in the process? See, because I think we all got it mixed up. When I know that it tells us that, let me say this. Okay, I'm not going to even say that. But anyway, just keep that in mind. So you have to, like I said, just wish people much love and much light, and just send them on their way. Release them and let them go. You're not obligated to anyone. You don't owe anyone anything. It's not your job to have to pacify or to make someone feel a certain type of way. It's not your job. We are no longer in those energies where we had to do that before. We are in a place now where people need to do their own healing work. Whatever issues that they may have going on that's unresolved that they need to deal with, they need to deal with it on their own. It is not your job to fix them. It is not your job to make them happy. It is not your job to figure out, oh, what's wrong with you. That is no longer your job, okay? I'm just letting you know. So I know that may be a hard thing to let go of, and I will definitely say this. For me, it was very hard to let go of, because I was just that type of person, because I'm an Aquarius, and Aquarius are humanitarian people, so we tend to help people. But with all that being said, I know I had to, God was helping me to renew my mind, and not go about the old way of doing things, but to accept the new way. There were specific reasons why I was doing those things, and that's a whole nother story to talk about, just like we all do. So love yourself enough to release whatever issues that you may have, or if someone has issues with you, but yet they think that they're supposed to steal, that you're supposed to still be obligated to them to do things for them, to do things for them, as well as just thinking that they can continue to do the things that they did before in order to get your attention. Because some of you are just going to be like, nope, I'm not dealing with that anymore. And even if you're not like that, the universe is going to do it for you. So, and it's going to come in a form that you ain't going to like it. So, I'm sure some of you have already been getting messages with letting things and letting people go. And that's all I can say. It's probably a little easier when you do it yourself, because if the universe comes in, you may not like the way that it comes in and has to present itself to you. So, yes. Anyway, so let's move on to the... So, yeah. And then we got... Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That wasn't the end of that story. So, also I had saw within that same dream, it was as if we were outside, and there was some people, as well as the neighbor, and the neighbor and her husband was outside. Actually, I think her husband was out there first, and it was as if he was kind of talking to some people, And then all of a sudden, it's like, then the wife appears, and then she comes outside, and then it's like, she comes outside, and then all of a sudden, I noticed that it was as if I had walked away. And because I had walked away, she didn't like that. And from what I had gotten from that was, this is somebody who's been used to getting their way and having their way and doing things their own way. And now it's to a point in time where no one is no longer catering to this person. So it was almost like they was having like an emotional breakdown in a sense, because you're no longer giving them that attention that you gave them before. And now that the attention is not on them, it's an issue. So it was as if this person just kind of started crying. And one thing I've learned is you have to use your discernment when people are crying, because I realize people can put on, as they say, the crocodile tears. There was another saying too. I cannot remember what the saying was about the tears, but yeah, you have to be mindful of that, because one thing I've learned too is that people will pull on your emotional strings, and they will try to break down, and they would do the tear thing, and they will try to manipulate and get you, it's a form of control, manipulation, whatever you want to call it, to get people to feel sorry for them. So that's why it's so important on this spiritual journey. They basically tell you to hold space for people, meaning like, you wish them well, but it's almost like, you stay over there, I'm going to stay over here, and I can wish you well from a distance and be done with that, rather than, oh my God, let me give you a hug, let me rub your back, and oh my God, let me make it feel better for you. It's just, we're no longer doing that. But anyway, that's the end of that first message. So the second message was, this one was a trip. Okay, but it was still pertaining to the same neighbors, but it was a totally separate dream. So anyway, in this dream, it was like as if me and my kids were standing like across the street. And then it just so happened that I walked across the street for some particular reason. I don't know why I walked across the street, but I walked across the street. And I remember walking, because it was as if we was in an apartment building. I don't even stay in an apartment building. So as if we stayed in an apartment building. And, excuse me. As if we stayed in an apartment building, and I walked across the street, and I remember like leaning up against the building, but I was talking. This little girl kind of came and sat down and started talking beside me, which was so weird. She just kind of came from around the corner of the building. Like I was sitting up against the building, like scooched down, and she just came from out of nowhere. But then I noticed the same neighbors open up the windows, just trying to be nosy. Like they just had the window open, like they rolled it. For some reason, I don't know why I got like one of them old school windows that you would turn in like this. But anyway, so all I remember is that the little girl came from around the corner, and she came in, squatted down beside me, and then she said, and I looked at her, and I was like, why are you here? And she said, I'm here, but need I remind you, this little girl, something was wrong with her. And I say that to say it just lets me know that she was infected some way, shape, or form, because she had like, how you watch those little zombie movies and it makes it seem like as if somebody's turning. She had like black veins that was kind of showing up on her hands, as well as a little bit on her face. And I was like, why are you here? And she was like, she said because, what did she say? She had told me, she said, because what'd she say, to be healed? She said to be healed. And then I looked at her again. I was like, okay, so you can, and I told her, I said, well, you can go and get somebody to heal you. And then she said, I came to you, so you can heal me. And I was just like, it caught me off guard. I was like, huh? But anyway, so with all that being said, it was just really weird. So if some of you guys are, and some of you guys maybe, let me say this. Some of you guys are healers, and when I say healers, I mean, like shamanic healers, if I'm saying that correctly. If not, it's okay, because I'm being unapologetically myself yet again. You kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say. A Reiki, someone who's certified in Reiki, or any of those spiritual practices, people who do like, what is it called? There's something called, what did they call it? Like heart mending? heart knitting, something like that. But anyway, all those different types of things that they have out there, they have so many, but the two that I know of is, well, they have the crystals healing too, but the two that I'm familiar with is the shamanic healing, as well as the Reiki healing. I myself am a Reiki teacher. But anyway, so with all that being said, so when she said that, she kind of threw me off guard, because I was looking at her like, can't you, there's lots of people for you to go and have them to heal you. And she was like, no, I'm coming to you. And I was looking like, it really caught me off guard. But anyway, some of you are Reiki, some of you are, how do I want to say it? Some of you are Reiki healers. And you already know that you're Reiki healer. You're certified in Reiki and so on and so on. And then some of you are carrying that Reiki energy and you don't even know that you're carrying the Reiki energy. Well, you may start, as well as the people who are certified as well too, you may start finding people flocking to you for healing. And it's not so much that maybe you need to lay your hands on them, but it's just the energy that you carry within yourself. The reason why they're there to it, because it's like, it's energy that's around you. So it's like when people are around you, it's almost like they feel the comfort, the love, the divine energy, because that's basically what it is. When people are certified in Reiki, it's more so like they're channeling that energy from above. We'll all have it, but some are tapped into it more so than others. And so I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. And the reason why I say that is because it just came from out of nowhere, because the little girl, I never saw me putting my hands on her to heal her in some sort of way. She was just sitting there. She said what she said, and then it's like all of a sudden she just left. And then her friends, a couple of her friends came along with her, and then they all just left. And then after that, it's like me and my kids had left again to go out somewhere. We came back, and this time it was like adults were showing up, as if adults were coming for healing. So just keep that in mind. If you may start to see people flocking towards you, and you're not really quite sure why they're flocking towards you, because it's the energy that you're carrying, and it's almost like you're being, it's almost like a frequency when you think about it. Like if you look at a navigation system and you see your car on the map, and then all of a sudden it's like it's flashing like this, it's almost like you're attracting putting out signals, and people are being attracted to you. It's like you're pulling people towards you. It's not something that you're doing intentionally. You don't have no control over that. It's just, it's part of fate. Okay, so anyway, that was the end of that dream. So the last dream I wanted to make you guys aware of. Please, 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 I ask you to please be mindful of this. Please, during these times when the weathers are getting warm, okay? And I don't want to just talk this up to someone who is African American, brown, however you want to refer to yourself as. I try not to put labels on it, to be honest, because I feel like I'm all things. I've been all things in past life. So, in this life, my skin is brown, so it is what it is. But anyway, I just feel like this situation was pertaining to a lady who was of brown skin color. And the reason why I say that was because I saw as if she was, okay. First of all, I got the feeling that she was a cop. Okay, so I want to make you guys aware of this. And I'm just letting you know. So sometimes you can avoid certain situations and not allow yourself to be in certain situations if you just, know what's taking place. Like, as I'm giving you the message, is something as a warning to just to be mindful of. So if you see that energy taking place, it's almost like, okay, pull back your energy, head another direction, and, don't even get engaged with it. But with all that being said, this lady who was a brown skin color, she was driving in an unmarked cop car. So I got it, she was a cop, okay? So, but the way she was driving very aggressively, to the point that she almost hit two people that I saw that was kind of walking. She didn't almost hit them, but she was just driving very close to them, to the point that I thought she was going to hit them. That's just how aggressive she was kind of driving. So when she got out of the car, I saw her get out of the car. And when she got out of the car, it seemed like she was just very agitated about something. I don't know what it was. She was like, she was kind of, kind of just kicking stuff and shaking stuff and just seeming just very agitated. But sometimes if you can understand what people are going through and maybe distance yourself from that type of energy, sometimes we can avoid certain situations. I know there have been things in the past where, we've had so many situations to where it involves cops or whatever the case may be. So I just want to make you be mindful of it, that I'm seeing an energy of where somebody is just a little agitated. And if you're going to try to avoid that situation, please do so, because I got it as if it was warm weather, because how she was dressed. She was dressed in like a kind of like a tank top dress with like a jean jacket on and some slide on shoes. But anyway, so it was letting me know that the weather was warm. And the weather was warm, so that's something to be mindful of. And not just her, but just be mindful as the weather starts to change, just with the cops in general. I guess because it was coming up, just be mindful of the energy with the cops in general. Like, just try to stay out of situations where you see people being aggressive, or people are doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and you don't want to be around an energy that could possibly have the cops called in. The last thing you want to do is just have that energy kind of show up, because like I said, I'm seeing that someone was agitated or irritable about something. What it was, I don't know. Could have been something for their personal life, but I don't want to speculate on that. But I just wanted to warn you guys of that. So with all that being said, those are 3 things to be mindful of. And I'm going to end here. And until the next time, I'm wishing you all much love and much light. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And remember, your day is what you make it. Peace and blessings. Bye.